Welcome to the Wellness Amazon podcast. This is a podcast for highly sensitive people, people that have high intuition and are just in tune with themselves and the outer world. Come and listen to multiple different high spectrum subjects and just peek behind the curtain. But I warn you, once you peek behind the curtain, you can never go back. Have fun. Enjoy. Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of the Wellness Amazon podcast. Again, with our trusted friend and sidekick guest speaker, Anika, today, with a beautifully spiritual, it fits so good into fall, tarot. Tarot is our subject today, and she really is, for me, you're an expert, because you really dove into this in the past couple of years, and it's been a pleasure to be on that journey with you and explore things with you, and it's been fantastic. And you've definitely way surpassed me knowledge-wise.
Oh no, I don't know, Melina. And also, did you know that you were the person introducing me to the tarot?
For real?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we lived still in Germany, and then we talked about it, and I was like, resonance, and then ordering my first deck, and then
That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I apparently got the ball rolling and helped you to find something that you truly, obviously love and cherish. So yeah, welcome on the show. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, as always.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Tell us, what in the world is tarot?
What is the tarot? Oh my goodness. I mean, I would say, because it's so mystical, also the history around the tarot, there are so many claims and none really is proven. As far as I know, the only thing that's proven, I made some notes too that I don't forget anything. The only proven origin is that it was started as a card game in 15th century Italy, and it was called tarocchi. I think that's how you say it, tarocchi. But there's many other myths. So there's like connections to the Kabbalah, Hermeticism, the occult, of course, that everyone fears, kind of, right? But also to ancient Egypt, Atlantis, all those, spiritual or conspiracy theory things, whatever you want to call it. Also the emerald tablets from Egypt, the pyramids, like they say that the tarot origins also have something to do with that. Wow. And at the end of the day, though, so I always try to, with spirituality, I just never want to get too attached to something. It's kind of like a self-protection thing that I have, because I don't want to get lost in something. So at the end of the day, it is a card game. It is, it is art. There were so many artists that drew their own tarot cards and their own interpretations. And so I love the artsy side of the tarot. I, for example, have one book that portrays a lot of different spreads and just the beauty behind it and what other people see in it. So it helps a lot too with understanding the cards better. So yeah, I always say, always with a grain of salt as well. And tarot, everybody uses it for different reasons. Some only use it because of the beauty of the cards, or I mean, we can go in endless realms here. But what impresses me the most is the journey. It is the journey of the Fool. So, who doesn't know tarot? The very first card is the Fool. with the number 0, and that's where everything starts. And I do have one text that I want to read because I think it's so beautiful, and that is the perfect explanation of the major arcana of the tarot, the archetypes, which talks about the fool's journey. So, the fool's journey, the fool sets out on a path into the unknown, carrying nothing but trust and hope. He discovers the magician, who shows him the power he already holds. The high priestess teaches him to listen to his intuition, while the empress welcomes him with nurturing and abundance. The emperor gives him structure, and the hierophant offers wisdom from tradition. The fool meets the lovers, learning about choices and the heart, and the chariot drives him forward with courage and willpower. Strength helps him master his fears, and the hermit guides him to seek answers within. The wheel of fortune reminds him of life's cycles, and justice shows the consequences of his actions. Suspended like the hanged man, he learns patience, and through death he faces transformation. Temperance teaches balance, but the devil tempts him with attachments, and the tower shatters illusions. The star restores hope, and the moon reveals hidden fears and mysteries. Finally, the sun warms him with clarity and joy. Judgment calls him to reflect and awaken, and the world embraces him with fulfillment. The fool, now wiser, takes a new step into the unknown, beginning the journey again. So,
Wow.
isn't it like, it gives me goosebumps?
That
It's
is so
like
cool.
our journey. It's like
Yeah.
humanity's journey. It's ebb and flow, yin and yang, whatever it is, all the things we've always heard. Like that's why I love the tarot, because it has connections to everything. So
Wow.
it's just this, it's kind of like, I just love the story
Yeah.
that it tells. Yeah.
I've never heard this before, and that's like the big arcana in a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's our story, yours, mine, whoever. Like, everyone is at a different place, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you said there's, I think, the big arcana and the little arcana. We can get into that. But what is tarot in the traditional sense today, right? What do we use it for?
I mean, I think it is viewed of as, divination tool. And I think most people, because like people that don't really know much about it or have like the wrong bias about it, they think, oh, you use it for fortune telling and like evil stuff. And maybe people even think, oh, you can do stuff like to others, like witchy stuff and so on. But for me personally, it is, so the tarot is just a tool, just like, a knife or a spoon is a tool to eat. Like the tarot is a tool to me, like for consciousness, like connection with consciousness. Like, you can use it as a personal development tool. For example, like it's said that when you lay cards, that it is a connection to the intuition that is hard for us humans these days, because we're not so connected to nature anymore like we used to, and the stars and the universe, that the cards or other tools, like, people read coffee or soup or fire or whatever it is, or like the Native Americans, like nature cues. And so in the tarot, it's just a tool like that, where you are supposed to get a connection to your intuition. So when you have cards that they tell you something you already know inside, like it shouldn't be a surprise to you, or like it should help you to just validate things for you and dig deeper into it, think about it. I mean, that's what it is for me. I think everyone probably has a different interpretation what to use them for. So that's kind of what it is for me.
Hmm. Yeah, it's beautifully said. Like you said, the connection to what you intuitively know, but it's your
Mhm.
subconscious, right? That's why we call it subconscious, because it's
Yeah.
deep inside of us and it's might not be the stuff that's quite clear yet.
Yeah, but I also have to say, and that's super important to me, I am totally fine with not knowing the answer and not knowing if I'm right or wrong. Like, I'm fine if everything would be bullshit, let's say, right? Like, if
Hmm.
everything, okay, I just made it up or this doesn't exist, and I would be fine with that. It just, for me, it feels good. I like it. I feel a resonance with it. So I'm going with it, but I cannot attach myself too much to, oh, I know the answer now. Like tarot is the only answer
Hmm.
or whatever it is, you know. It's just I have a deep interest in it and I have a resonance, and then like intuitively that's just okay. I'm fine with not knowing how it works exactly, or you know, those are the things, right? The consciousness stuff is I mean they do more and more with exploring that, but it's so hard to prove it.
Yeah.
It's just something we feel. Like it's so human that of course there's not really the explanation that we all want to have.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that goes back to what you said in the very beginning, that you don't obsess about anything.
Hmm.
You don't get too attached to it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And sometimes I have that with the cards. Like I'm like, okay, today's not the day,
Hmm.
and that's fine too. Like
Yeah.
I don't stress about it or anything. Even if I feel like a very deep connection to the card spread, it like again it validates things for me. But I would never make life decisions just because of what you know the cards said or something like that. Like it's still, I think you still always have to be very rational as well. Um, where we are again, you know, remember the topic like female, male, the energies, the, you know,
Hmm.
you always want to have that balance. But I do feel, of course, better when I have a little bit of validation of how I feel and why do I feel this way or whatever
Hmm.
it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just nice.
We all do. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think you went into my next question already a little bit, but what is tarot not? What is it not?
It for sure is not a devil's craft, I would say. I mean, it's also all opinionated, right? I just really
Right.
don't think that it is. I think you can use if you're an evil person and you have a bad moral compass, you can use about anything and make it evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, but I just don't think that tarot has anything to do with like bad occult stuff. I mean, I'm sure that there are people that want to use it for that, but they use other stuff for that as well, music or whatever, right? Movies. There's always gonna be evil and good, and it's part of our experience and of our universe. So, and I do think also for a reason, because if you don't have the dark, then you don't know the light, right? Like it's part of us and it's part of our growth, and it's here to teach us something. But I don't think that tarot is an evil craft or anything like that, like innately. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think that maybe Hollywood or any depictions of that have something to do with that, with how it was
Yes.
shaped? Yeah.
A lot, for sure. I mean, I think there's a horror movie called Tarot. Like I just saw the movies. I saw the poster of it. I'm like,
Mm.
ah, great. Like
Yeah.
again, like this bad reputation, you know. So yeah, for sure. There's been a lot of manipulation and conditioning that this is only for a certain type of energy or whatever. And I mean, I do have to say, I like being from Germany. There is for sure a different energy around it here in the US. I feel like with the spiritual side of like people that do tarot. It's right. We had this topic before that sometimes it's a little extreme to like a certain, how do we want to even explain this? How do I put this in words? Like usually a very like narrowed down group of people, which I feel for myself I don't fit in that at all, in that role. So I don't have a resonance with that. So for me, I have a hard time here in the US to find like-minded people that have the same values as I do, but are also into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
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 Which in Germany, for me, it was easier, for sure. This spirituality is differently there than here. Or maybe it's just because of where exactly I live, that it's different, but yeah.
Yeah. It's a cliche for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's more boxes maybe in this culture that people like to, which is, it's not a bad thing. It's a safety mechanism that people do. If I put you in a box and I categorize you, it's easier to, because lizard brain, it's easier to understand if you're friend or foe.
Yeah.
Right? If we go back to tribal times. But we did not grow up together, and we didn't even remotely grow up in the same region in Germany. And I had the exact same experience of what you were just describing, that there was no one ever, 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 ever that said anything bad about this. Like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's not good. That just happened in the US. And you're right. It's hard to, because it's a cliche, right? And we see it in Hollywood, but we see it also, I mean, we see it in real life. I don't know how it is where you live, but here in Florida, in every city, you have psychics everywhere. And it's literally like you see it in the movies. You walk in and there's a crystal ball on a table and it's just all draped and mystical. And then it's tarot used as it's either like self-help kind of, a little bit of like life coaching in there.
Love.
Yeah, love. And fortune telling. Just flat out fortune telling, which it's not, I don't think it is. I don't think tarot is fortune telling at all. So it's hard to
navigate it.
Yeah. I mean, when I now tell people that we're normal, some people might be like, no, you're not, because what's normal? We don't know what's normal, but normal in the sense of we don't sit around a crystal ball all day with, I don't know, a black cat somewhere. That's just made up stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's hard to navigate. For me, so we don't have those stores here where I live. Like for the viewers, I live in the Bible Belt, so yeah, for me, honestly, it feels like I cannot tell anybody because like I would be viewed as the one with the crystal ball. So yeah, I feel very alone with that here. But I've met one person, literally one person, that is also into that, and I'm very grateful for that. But that's it. But I know Florida is much more open. But then again, it's not like for what we know from Germany. It's like this extreme always of that you don't fit in. Like I have not found our kind of box here. So, but I'm sure that people are out there. I'm sure that exists. It's just call me.
Find Anika.
Yes.
It's interesting because it is, I mean, I have had all kinds of reactions from people. And the funny thing is, for everybody who doesn't know, I'm Roman Catholic. And I'm a, not just am I, no, I'm a practicing Roman Catholic. I read the Bible every day. I go to church every weekend, right? But I still have this stuff on my bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have just one tarot deck. No, I think I have 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never, by the way, bought one myself. Never in my life. I always, they find me, right? So I was like, they find me. I love them.
Yep.
They love me, whatever, you know. It's not, there's no, is there a line? Like what you just said is so important when you said about the obsession about things, right? Yes, there is a line. You can manipulate anything and everything. You can abuse everything for, but then that's also your intention
Mm-hmm.
to do that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I'm a big believer in just karma, and the moral compass. So I would never ever do anything because I know like it would probably haunt me back kind of.
mhm.
Like don't ever do something to someone that you don't want to be done on yourself either. So yeah, it's important to just have a good moral compass in general. And I
Yeah,
love that about you so much that you are so, open and we can talk literally about everything and you don't have this rigid rigid you're not rigid with things like this has to be this way or that way. You just flow through it.
yeah,
And I love that.
yeah. I was lucky to have that influenced in my close circle growing up. Where actually, well, let me rephrase that. Religion was not in my close circle at all. I found that myself. I mean, I was, baptized, Holy Communion, and all that stuff, but nobody practices anything. But I did have, homeopathic medicine and acupuncture and EFT and TFT and I don't know, chakras. And all of that was because somebody in my family was doing that. It was just there. And it's a beautiful thing. Um, and it's not like some people will probably say here comes the word witchcraft, right? it's
Yeah.
it's not, we're not doing spells, y'all. we're not we're not trying to curse people. But that's what people put that in the same category, right? So it has to be evil.
Although I do have to say the name witch comes from wise woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that name has also been very abused, let's say,
Yeah,
in media and whatnot. So it used to be where women were called that knew things, how
mm-hmm.
to create medicine or be a midwife or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So they were wise. Yeah.
yeah. And knowledge is power. And there was certain people that just didn't want women, especially women, have that kind of power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have talked again. You were right mentioning that feminine energy episode or episodes because it was 2. Where we talk about burn out and the
Mm-hmm.
burning on the stake and how the women are incredibly, incredibly powerful in our more intuitive softness, knowing herbs, healing, all of this. This is a very feminine thing that needed to be suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and also with the tarot, going back to like the cards, so there are 78 cards
Mm-hmm.
total. There's the major arcana, which is the Fool's Journey that I already read. Those are 22. And then the rest of the cards is the minor arcana, which is categorized by 4 different type of suits. You have the wands, you have the swords, you have the cups, and you have the pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
From 1 to 10 for each, and then you have the court cards, the page. Is that right? How I say page?
Page. Some call it
Or the princess.
the prince. Yeah.
The knight, the queen, and the king. So And that's what that is. So just that, because we didn't cover that at the beginning, for people to understand that don't really know much about it. Yeah, and then you have 78 cards, and there's also people that reverse them. I'm not one of them, but I know that, yeah, I know. But then you have over 100, yeah, the 156. Think about that. It's already really hard. It's a lifelong journey to learn the tarot. You never ever are finished with learning everything about the tarot cards. And now I imagine double the work. That's all. Because you cannot say just because you reverse them that the meaning is the opposite.
Yep.
So yeah, just so for people to know that there's those two categories.
Yeah.
Most people actually, did you know they have issues with the court cards the most?
Oh.
Because usually, right, they should represent real people, real persons, but to energetically interpret the meanings of the cards, that's where a lot of people struggle.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I was, just before our show, I was looking into the notes from months ago that we did in the beginning of the year. And I had a lot of those in there, and I thought, I still don't know what this means. I still can't figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's tell me about the 4 themes in the smaller arcana. So you said cups, swords, wands, and
Pentacles.
pentacles. Okay.
So they all they stand for elemental energies. So the wands are the element of fire and also male, right? The fire is male energy. The swords is for the air, and everything that's intellectual, thoughts, in your head, like very left-brained. The cups are for the element water, all of our emotions. And pentacles is element earth, and everything that is very material. You can take it like real stuff. So that's how it's laid out. And also numerology plays a role in it, and astrology as well. Like every card in the major and minor arcana has connections to not just the elements, but like astrology, to planets, to the zodiacs, and to numerology. So usually with the minor arcana, so you have card 1 through 10, and then the court cards. So the 1 is always like a new beginning, a chance, an opportunity, and then whatever the element is, for example. And then you go through the numerology meanings behind the numbers. Like, for example, number 2, it's always like a duality. There's always 2 choices or whatever, right? So think about it like that. And that's the way all the way with, I think the 5 is usually, not always, I'm not entirely sure right now, but connected to Mars energy, for example. Yeah, I don't have everything in my head, like what card is connected to what. Like I always, when I do cards, I have several books that I get out, like whatever feels right for the moment, what book I want to use, or several. And then I continuously learn more and more about them.
Yeah.
And also when you have the tarot cards, all the pictures have every detail on the card has a meaning. The color, the background color, what is the person wearing? Is there a bird? Is there, I don't know, a dog? Or everything has a meaning. So you can also meditate with tarot cards and can I mean, can go endless with seeing new things that you haven't seen before. Depending on the spread you're using, there are some that go really, really in depth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you can you can explore everything
Yeah.
and study them. I mean, it is a study for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You never you never know everything about it.
That's why I love the set that you gifted me the most, because of the symbolism on the cards.
Mm.
I feel like sometimes, and don't get me wrong, there is the most beautiful decks you can buy. There is fun decks. There's Star Wars decks. There's Harry Potter. I mean, whatever your heart desires, it's
Mm.
out there. But if you go too far from the traditional picture, you're now missing that symbolism, that what you said,
Yes.
the here you have the original card and there's a dog on the card, and then it's too artistic, and then the dog is missing, and you're going to miss that.
Mm.
And it, to me, that helps to also be able to work or understand a card without having a book maybe with me.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy. So we're talking about the Rider-Waite Smith deck, which is the most common one.
Yeah.
And that is I love that one the most as well, because it's just the easiest to understand.
Yeah.
And also, did you know that it even matters when you have a person on the tarot card, what direction the person looks,
No.
left or right? Yeah.
Tell me.
I think it's a I'm not entirely sure if it was male and female, or if it was the left brain and right brain thing. I'm not entirely sure right now. I'd have to look in my book.
That makes
But it has
sense.
a meaning, what direction
Mm,
they did.
okay.
And yeah, and the background color. That's always a thing too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also the background landscape. Is it a desert, or what's there? Like
Mm-hmm.
what do you see? Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Is it green and flourishing and nourished, or like you said, desert and dead,
Mhm.
and you can't plant anything there? Mm-hmm.
Yes. But there was one card too. I think it was the Seven of Swords. I think so. Or the six. I don't know. Where there's a boat on the water, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes from very, very troubled water into calm water. And that
Mm-hmm.
also has a meaning
Yeah.
for the card.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned symbolism with the symbols, with colors, with numerology, because these things, for somebody who is still like, I don't know about that. That happens in religion too. We have, we are depicting 666 as not such a good number, but 3 and 33 is a holy number, the Holy Trinity. Jesus was 33 when he was crucified. You have 7. 7 is a holy number. 73, at least for Catholics, is the number of books we have in the Bible. Now, if you're more on the Lutheran side, so, Baptist, they have less books. There's books that have been taken away. To me, this is all fascinating. I could study theology just for fun, because this is just so fascinating. But it shows us that symbolism is so old,
Yeah.
so old. It doesn't have to be. Of course, I can again make it an evil thing, or I cannot. And I think that people underestimate that the power of that decision, that's yours.
Yes. Talking about that, very important to talk about is the two cards that people fear the most.
Mm-hmm.
The devil, because that is part of the tarot, the devil card, and the death card.
Yeah.
Like that is, I think, those are the reasons probably why it has such a bad reputation for so many people, because then they think, oh, this is devil's
Mm-hmm.
craft, whatever. But the real meaning behind those cards is so beautiful and has nothing to do with the devil or death is coming, whatever. It is transformational, and it is the devil, for example, who doesn't know the card, but it's the devil in the middle, and then you have two people sitting on the left and right, and they are both in chains. But those chains are loose. You can free yourself from those chains anytime. It's your, like the devil stands for, in the tarot, stands for manipulation or for addiction. But it is not the devil that is the problem here. It's yourself being attached to this. So it's all in us. We have our free will that we can exercise every single second, and that's what's so beautiful. And the same with the death card. The death does not mean, oh, something bad and someone's gonna die, or you're gonna die, or blah, or this is gonna happen. No, the death means there's an end, and after an end is a new beginning. So for me, that's just so beautiful. Oh, the Tower card is also one that is feared a lot. Which, yes, it is. The energy of the card is not the one that you want to have every day.
Nope.
But in order for something new and better to come and flourish, the old has to crumble down. And that's all that is. The old has to crumble down and has to fall and has to really show itself as well. Because how do we know that we need something better if the old doesn't crumble down? And we see all the ugly of it, all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just one, and like I think that's so important to talk about those feared cards. They're actually really, really beautiful.
Yeah. I usually I'm not a huge fan of the swords. Because there's there's a lot of challenging stuff in there, but that brings us back to the point that we're not fortune telling. We're not changing how we plan life with a tarot spread. We are just understanding that this is a subconscious thing that is now coming to the surface and maybe helps us to understand what this actually is. And maybe help us to learn. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and validate those things. Like especially the sword cards, everything is in your head. It's all mental. And it can be very helpful to, when you're all constantly reminded by the cards, you overthink, then you can contemplate about this and think, okay, maybe I should stop overthinking and calm down a little bit, or whatever is the resonance.
Yeah. And it's funny when you were talking about the roots and the origins of tarot, because when I had Medina on the show, who was talking about human design, she said almost the exact same stuff, that a lot of elements of human design are connected to religion and Kabbalah and all of these things. And then she was talking, she went through my chart and she said, well, you have the hermit energy. And I know that that is a card that has been very present in my life, and the tarot. And I asked her, I said, hey, is there connection with tarot? And she said, no, not that I know of. And then there's chakras connections, and we have the symbolism with colors. It is all connected.
Yeah.
It is all, I really believe it is all connected. And someone somewhere at some point said, no, don't look over there. Look over here. Look over here. This is bad. This is really bad.
Well, that is one of the stories as well. That the tarot was such ancient knowledge that it had to be destroyed, and that's why they released it as playing cards to bring it into the people. This is the whole story as well, that knowledge is going back into the people, disguised as playing cards basically, but that it is our story and how important it is. So yeah, I think so too. There's always truth in everything. And yeah, who knows really, right? Like the exact answer, but I think also it's the most interesting thing to know. Oh wow, there's a connection. It's like this big puzzle piece that you have, and then oh yeah, here this fits again. This fits with this again. Aha, yeah, and then I get intrigued by it so much.
Yeah, yeah. If someone would tell you today, well, it's intriguing, but I'm scared or intimidated or still not sure because, you know, we listen to usually the programming that we're exposed to.
Mhm.
What would you tell them?
I mean, I would tell them, what are you scared of? Because everything is in your control. Nobody is above you. Like you have your free will. You can explore and be curious about anything. I mean, that's what it is for me mostly. It's curiosity.
Mm,
But with having the open mind of, okay, this might not not be, what I want it to be, even, right? Like we all have ego, and um of course I want this all to be true and have this huge mysticism, and but I'm fine with saying I don't know.
yeah,
So like I think it's very important to not get too attached, to always have this bird's eye view, to be curious. Hey, you're a human being here on this earth, experiencing this life. Like, if you're curious, sure, why not? Like, if it fits with your moral compass, and you have an open mind and you don't think evil of it or want to use it for evil or whatever, then why not? No
yeah,
issues.
yeah. And I have met people that are very strict about the craft of tarot where it was a little off, for example, oh, you cannot touch the cards. I'm the only one who can touch the cards because they can only have my energy
Mm.
on them. Or then it goes, they do a spread and again it's fortune telling and they're like, oh, this is this card. No, you should not do that because this card says run for the
Mm-mm.
hills. That's
Yes,
not
wrong.
that's
Yes, absolutely wrong. I also always say, like, this is just from like my well, how I do it. I would stay away from love stuff and health stuff. Like,
Mhm.
don't ever explore things where you're not cool with really being fine with the answer or whatever it is. Like, it should be just self exploration, but don't use the tarot to think to see, okay, do I have cancer or things
Right.
like that that can be very toxic. So I would always stay away from that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And most of the time, at least in my experience, well, first of all, what you just said, no, yes, and no questions. It doesn't work anyway, right?
Mhm.
Um, but most of the time, when I look for advice and I'm using this tool, everything that ever comes out is things that I already knew
Mm.
that I just either didn't want to admit to or didn't consciously contemplate. It was more like a subconscious thing. But usually when you start reading the symbolism and you maybe have a book and you read through it, you go, yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah. Kind of that.
Mhm.
How has this been for you in your experience?
Same.
Mm,
Absolutely. So I will never forget the first time that I laid the cards. That's where I got hooked because it was. It is. I thought this cannot be like this. This is insane how accurate it like it was just so accurate how I felt, and like, yeah, I was in awe. Like, wow, this is insane.
mhm,
And yeah, that's how it should be. If you ever have the feeling, oh, this is like so, I can't connect with this, then do it another day. It's normal
mhm,
to feel that way. Also, there's people that just do better with different decks. Um, don't hear what others say. Don't listen to what I even say. whatever is intuitively right for you, and then just do that. If you feel a very cool connection to like a cat spread and you love it and it works great, sure, like use that.
Right.
There's also there's people that actually use normal playing cards. Or then you have the Lenormand, which is a whole different type of
Yeah.
card set. There's so much. There's also like I know the Crowley, which I know that Crowley is very dark, but the set that Lady Frida Harris created is very, very artistic, but they did change cards out. They changed the numerology of the cards. I believe it is the Strength card and Temperance. Also, I think Temperance is called Lust in that deck, and they're switched out for the positioning. I'm not 100% sure that those are the exact cards, but I think so. So yeah, there's the artistic freedom as well for people that create their own decks.
Yeah. And then you've got oracle cards and all kinds of fairy cards. I mean, there's endless possibilities.
With oracle cards, do you have oracle cards? I've never ever touched oracle cards. Is it like the same? Like, do you use it the same like the tarot, or is it just?
I don't think you could, just because it doesn't have the same structure at all. And if you get an oracle deck, every deck is different. They have themes. A lot of times it's either, I don't know, sometimes it's, like I said, fairies or goddesses or whatever. So they are never the same, which does make it interesting for really being, I guess, unbiased when you work with them, because you have no idea what's in that deck unless you really study it before you start. To me, personally, oracle cards are more for the card of the day.
Or like a messenger, probably.
Yeah. Just, I know when I go here to one of these sound bath offerings, Stormy is wonderful. And when you go, and every time I go, I forget, because obviously you walk into that room and there's all of these yoga mats and you pick one, and I have my own that I put, so I double mat, right? But then at the end, she says, oh, look under your mat. And there will be a card, usually an oracle card, under your mat. And there was not ever, ever, ever one incident where the card didn't fit like the shoe that was made for me.
Wow.
And it's the entire room. People turn around that card and go, oh, no. It's just, you intuitively pick the mat you think you want to lay on. That's where my spot is. And then later you don't even know that there is something under your mat. So it's kind of cool for that, because you couldn't use tarot cards for that probably. But they're very simple. It's very simple. And yeah, what you said, I love simple. These big tarot spreads, they intimidate me.
They can be, for sure.
Yeah, because you got to take a lot of notes, because by the time you're at the last card, you don't remember what the first card said,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then also for different situations, it's a whole different game then for different situations. Yeah, with oracle cards, yeah, it would be easier to just have this guidance or messenger message. Yeah, it's kind of like fortune cookies, and everybody loves a good fortune cookie, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Or like those yogi tea.
Yes.
Who doesn't read those?
Right.
I mean, right? And then you always find something that fits your theme. And this is actually very, like, it's close to what it is with the tarot. You interpret it for that your situation, where that energy fits.
Yeah, that's when we get to the subject of synchronicities, and how you pick that tea bag that day, or you pick that yoga mat, or you pick that card, and you pick why. And I know that we in our little group have talked about tarot a lot, and we exchange ideas on what do you think this means? I don't get it. We help each other. And how many times have we had it that we do something more than once and it still says the same thing? And we joke around and say,
the stalker card.
I said what I said.
Yeah. The stalker cards. Yeah, you will have cards that stalk you, for sure. I don't have one right now, but I've had one when we lived in Germany and we didn't know what should we do, right? You remember it was the 6 of Swords?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the tower showed up a couple of times too.
Over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And since then, since we moved back to the US, I have not had that card in the spread anymore.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It would be a very weird coincidence.
Right? I mean, like what you just said, you have all these cards and the possibility of reverse or not reverse. And you have all this, mathematically speaking, it's very hard to constantly pick the same card when there is a theme that is not worked through and it's still present. Because that's what I think it is. We are learning lessons in life. If we don't learn the lesson's going to come back. And it's the same. So sometimes I think a card is attached to that lesson. It's pretty much, it's yelling in your face at that point. Yeah. It's like, what? Excuse me, you're not getting it. Here it is again and again and again, Well, mine has always been the Hermit. In the big picture speaking. So for the last 25 years, maybe, I think I was introduced to tarot when I was a teenager. And the Hermit always comes back. And it was interesting, again, when we talked about the human design, that apparently came up and that represented me. And I thought, and they don't even, that's not tarot. That's something totally different. And now you're telling me that again. So, I mean.
And you're Pisces.
Yeah. What are the odds?
Pisces. Yeah.
And it's connected to, that is connected to my birthday. So, yeah.
That's what I tell you. I mean, yeah, that's what fascinates me so much about it. And I also think you don't have, like, you already talked about it a little bit. You don't have to overthink it. You don't need to, do whatever you want with cleansing. Some people, they cleanse the deck in salt. And stuff like that. I don't really do that. I'm too lazy to cleanse my card deck and salt. But you don't have to overthink it. Because you are you can always think of it like you are the creator of your universe. And you make the rules. There's nobody, that's how I believe it is. Like, there's nobody making the rules for you. You can freely decide how you want to use it. And yeah. Give yourself the freedom.
Yeah. I have to admit, I used to be like that because I was influenced and I was one of those really anal ones. Like, we have to clean the room, and I had a pendulum and I would pendule, like, which table can we do it on? Or we cannot do it on the floor. We cannot do it on glass. It has to be wood table and has to be good energy. And this is the table. Oh, this is good. We can do it here. And it's just, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Today I know it doesn't matter. You can sit on your bed. You're going to pick the card that you're going to pick.
You don't have those welcome mats anymore anyways.
No, I just threw my last one out.
Yeah. I know. I totally understand that people that believe in the spiritual and especially like the dark, demon stuff, like that they believe that exists. Which I do too. I don't know exactly what it is behind it, but I'm sure that there's like dark energies. But I don't believe that tarot is something to attract that, except if you let it, like you want it.
Yeah.
And we had that topic before with spirituality in general. If you are very inviting towards this, like do things that are something that if you believe in those realms would attach to that. I believe that, yeah. I mean, watching certain things that are very, very evil and just how do you like gore or something like that. I do believe it might be something where you can attract things, but I don't believe that you attract things through your tarot deck when you just want to develop yourself or like contemplate or meditate or
Yeah. Yeah. Intentions.
yeah, intentions, yeah. And then your decisions, like I don't want to let that in. And you do know too that I struggle with that myself, with not with the tarot but with other things that we explored.
Mm-hmm.
To
Mm-hmm.
be scared of those type of realms. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And it's also, again, that's where we go back to when we talk about power and how you're in your power. That is where Hollywood comes back in, because I do believe that through these kinds of movies and things, and I'm totally derailing this now, but these kinds of programming that we're seeing, it teaches us you are not in control, you're not in power, but this evil thing is, and you need some like master weapon, whatever, to defeat it or whatnot. Even we don't even have to go to horror movies. We can go to Marvel movies. We can go to comic movies. We can go to all. There always has to be that very special thing to win against the evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is not true.
Yeah,
That is not true. And out of personal experience, you know the story. I know that if you don't feed into it, it has zero power. It
yeah,
has
I feel.
zero, none, nilch. You are always in control. You're always in power. If you believe in the light, you believe into your own light that you have inside of you, that's it. End of story. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about haunted houses, those energies like house energies,
Mm-hmm.
earth energies?
I believe that, yes, like you said, there is something called residual energy. It's like a memory, it's like an imprint of something that has happened there. That's
Mm-hmm.
what that is. It's usually trauma, tragedies, just lots of sadness and grief and fear and all that stuff. But then it's the people who go there, who believe in it, who feed into it,
Mm-hmm.
that turn it into something else. That is the power that you feed it.
Yeah.
This residual energy is nothing, but if you give it power, well, then you're turning it into something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that if somebody else steps in there who does not give it power, it's not going to affect that person.
Yeah.
There is this, when people say, oh, this is all in your head. This is the spooky vibe around you, and it's messing with your head. That's essentially the same thing, I think. If it messes with your head because now you give it power, or now you
Yeah.
start to believe, right?
Yeah. True.
And if I don't do that and I go there and I'm going to look at everybody else and say, y'all are fools. There's nothing here. There's nothing here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's not there, but this person experiences this now in a different way because they don't give that power.
Yeah. 100%. But also, I do have to say, um, I think people that are very in tune with their intuition, they don't bring themselves into the situation. So, for example, when we used to house hunt, looking for a house to buy, there were a lot of houses that were absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, perfect, whatnot. I just didn't feel it. Like there was something about the energy, the location, even though from the outside everything looked absolutely beautiful and
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous, but it just wasn't an inner feeling of, not my place. This is
Mm-hmm.
not my place. So I
Yeah.
wonder if this is already like a security thing that
Mm-hmm.
some people are just more connected to that, like energetic vibes of places too. Like, this neighborhood has a good energy. This doesn't really have a good energy, even though it's beautiful, right? Like, or the other one, maybe it's not like the most beautiful, but it has a good energy. Like, I wonder if there's this connection of spiritual, like
Yep.
people that don't really experience those things then because they have this awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. You have all of these, we talked about this before we started, these antennas that you have. Your whole body is an antenna for if we can get into quantum physics for anybody who's thinking we're completely off the rocker here, because quantum physics will prove you wrong, right? You are a walking antenna. You are made of atoms, and there's atoms around you, and you're just everything is energy, everything, right? And we're just reacting to things. And energy also carries information, and we connect with that information without even knowing it. And you don't match the same things that I match the same things, which is why we have different tastes and different smells and we experience sight differently. Our energy also needs different things. So when we walk into a place that is not vibing with our same wavelength, we don't want to be there. And again, I'm not, when we talk about tarot, I'm not saying evil things don't exist. They do. And I have met people where it's not just an intuitive, maybe not. No, it was a flat out, I think I need holy water with that one. Only happened twice in my life, right?
Wow,
and these
really?
100%.
Wow.
I mean, bad, where I felt the person standing behind me, even though I didn't see them. And I was aware of where they moved to and where they are. And by the way, those are not people that look dangerous at all. Not at all. They looked, matter of fact, the last person I met looked kind of like me. It was a very beautiful blonde female. Okay. But and I do believe that there's things that attach, especially when there's trauma and there's fear and there is a lot of, and with this last example, I found out that, there's a lot of problems at home, but it was so strong that I wanted to leave the room.
No.
I did not want to, my energy did not want to be in the same energy. And again, this is not an all day occurrence. This happened once in my life where it was that extreme, and somebody I've never met before.
Have you met that person again, or was this just like random?
I met them again at the same day, just because of how the day played along. But then it's funny because I knew, and I was able to prepare myself a little bit better. And then never again after that. And I would not seek this person out. I would actually try to avoid them. Not because I don't, and again, I'm always, when I meet anything where I think there's negative or evil, even in nightmares, if I have nightmares, I have this, oh, you poor thing. That's just the first thing that comes. Oh, you're just a negative energy. Yeah, right. There's compassion and a little bit of pity, like you just didn't get loved enough, and who did this to you, and how did you end up like this? But there's people where I know that, oh, Melina, boundaries, you do not have to fix all the broken puppies. And that person, that example is one of those where it would hurt me trying to fix that.
Yeah. Plus, everyone is on their own path. Even though you think this person needs help, doesn't mean that the person is ready to receive it or to help themselves. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they need help from me, because I do not feel equipped enough to be able to be that person, because I have that extreme reaction. But I do not believe that people are born like that. And yeah, we can talk about, amygdalas not being developed, which I guess they have found in like serial killers. There's some brain thing going on that they don't have that which is where the part of the conscious sits,
And empathy, right? Like
empathy and regret and all of that stuff. Remorse. They don't have remorse, right? Because that is just underdeveloped in their brain. Yeah, okay, I get that. But they also found out that not all children who have that underdevelopment end up as a serial killer, right? So I think we create evil in this world, and some people are just more prone to follow a dark path than others. And again, that's where we again talk about the power inside of you. This is where you do not have to be scared to try tarot if your intentions are good and you believe in the light and you are not having some weird, you know, if you don't
biases.
yeah, and you don't sacrifice rabbits in your basement, we're good, you know?
Yeah, don't do the sacrifice of that. That's a bad sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about laying the cards for yourself versus for someone else? Because for me personally, I don't really like doing it for someone else because it feels to me, it feels like such a vulnerable thing
Mm-hmm.
that I don't want, like, I rather not. Um, do you feel the same way?
That I think is a mastery in you have to concentrate very hard because here's the thing. I differentiate. So if you come to my house, right, and you say, "Ooh, let's do tarot," and I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." I can let you touch the cards and pull your own cards, and then I can just help you go through the symbolism and we talk about it, right? That's one thing. That's probably easy.
Mm.
But remote, so you're not there and you want me to lay the cards for you, but you're somewhere else. That I think it is possible for somebody who's really skilled and who can channel just really, it's just a visualization, right? You concentrate and really think about that person and that is for them and not for you. And if you're able to kind of like have that barrier between your energy and theirs, kind of, I think you can do it. I am not equipped to do that. So I maybe would do it for fun, but I would tell them, look, this could be very inaccurate because I am probably not strong enough to differentiate my energy with yours.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's really hard. It's a big thing too because you never know how serious the other person takes it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let me look on my notes. Yeah, I think we went through most of the things. I'm trying to think of something that would be out of interest and important to not forget to mention.
Ooh, I have something.
Yeah.
So I looked it back up on the personality card and how to do that. And I think in English we call it the cross sum. So you take your whole birthday,
Yeah.
the whole thing, and you just add all the numbers up. And if the number is bigger than the numbers in the tarot deck, then you cross sum it again. And then you're supposed to have your personality card.
Yes. Yes. Which is very interesting because my personality card is also the card for my zodiac.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Which card is it?
Justice.
The justice. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The balance. And isn't there even a scale on that card?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
And I'm very Libra for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's only just my sun sign, but still it's very, which when, if we would get into the whole astrology, that's,
Mm-hmm.
it's also very interesting, but, I feel very Libra.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine is the emperor.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. It's very fitting, actually.
When you do, so with the tarot, do you do it in English or do you do it in German?
Uh, I do both because all my books are mixed. So I have English books and then I have a lot of German books still from Germany from my aunt. So I usually, okay, so when I ask a question, most of the time it's in English.
Mm.
Mhm.
Do you write it down? Do you have a journal?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's also something that I highly recommend. Have a journal. To always write down the date, the intention, and then the spread, and then whatever cards you pulled. Also, when you are a beginner, do daily cards because that's how you learn the quickest, to have a daily card and then
Mhm.
learn that card, write it down, and then contemplate about it, especially the next day.
Mhm.
To me, it's always this the next day I contemplate about it. The previous day, what was the energy and what do I learn from the card for that day? So that's a big thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
I do wish so much that the tarot would get better reputation, especially
Yeah.
in media. It would help a lot. Like I'm in big hopes with the new Practical Magic movie that comes out next year. That they maybe include uh, tarot in a positive way,
Yeah.
or like such a big classic. Um, because it is sad that it's usually very negative.
Yeah.
And there's not many people that come out with this, like have their coming out.
Yeah.
Like celebrities, for example. I have heard um, one German actress, Heike Makatsch,
Mhm.
uses the tarot. I've seen that. And on the American side, I've heard that, what's the name? Kate Hudson
Mhm.
also uses tarot cards, which I absolutely love. Um, But I've never really heard of other people really coming out with that. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot, but it would
Yeah.
it would be cool if it would get a better positive reputation and would be more normalized.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that there's so many women, maybe a man for sure too. Although I do have to say, if I've ever seen a man doing tarot, it was more also very like a, a man that's very intuitive
Yeah.
on the softer side, like
Yeah.
but it's more rare for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
It is.
maybe I do wonder if because there is a connection um from the tarot to Gnosticism and Knights Templars,
Mhm.
Rosicrucian, um Knights Templars. So I wonder if Masons in general
Mhm.
dabble into tarot.
It would not surprise me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's all dating so far back. And when you were talking about how it started in the 15th century, I mean, that's what we know, right? That's just what we know. That's what has been documented
Mhm.
and not destroyed. So it's definitely real tarot. Is not evil and it is not a parlor trick and it's not weird, but it can be made into this and it's
Mhm.
often depicted as such. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know for a fact that you are the most gracious, empathetic, lovely, kind person that
Mm.
I really, I mean, there's nothing evil about you at all whatsoever. And people should not judge it maybe too fast
Mhm.
just because it's been, I don't know, this belief has been indoctrinated to us that no, it's evil.
Mhm.
Well, there's no harm, no foul. It's all just,
It's a card game.
yeah,
Beautiful
yeah,
cards.
yeah.
Yeah.
You make it what you want to make it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being on the show, Anika.
Of course, anytime.
It was lovely. And yeah, if anyone has any questions or wants any links to decks or books or whatever, let us know, because I know Anika has great resources for that too. I know I have gotten stuff that you recommended, and you have gifted me things that were absolutely amazing and so much better than anything I've ever had before. So I know we can pass that along too. Yeah. All right, y'all. See you next time.
See ya.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed. You can give it a thumbs up. You can give it a review. You can share it with somebody you think might resonate with this. Have a great day. See you next time.